Hi, I am the team leader of my project and I will guide you throughout the first part of this video. Our project name is Microphage and it's an IoT waste management system. So let's start with the web application prototype. We first run the project and the first page we get is a login page where I will enter my username and password. The first page that shows up is the home page, which contains a number of charts that give, like this first graph. It compares the total trash weight collected over the last two largest cities, while this graph shows the average service time. And in this graph, it shows the top 3 districts that had the highest number of trash collections in the current year. And similarly, the final graph shows the top 5 companies based on their performance in this year. If the decision maker needs to make a customized graph, he clicks on the dashboard and he will be navigated to the next page, where he can customize the graphs based on a chosen criteria and the level of details he wants. So let's start to explore some of these graphs. We will start with the column chart on which we want to determine the total trash amount collected in a specific street in a specific time range. So let's start by determining the time range. We choose the city as Cairo, district Shubra, and the street we want is Mustafa al-Kurdi Street. And for the measure, we will choose the trash weight and we get the total. We click on the Generate Graph button and we get the result. Here it is. As we can see, on the x-axis we see each trash can ID in this specific street and the total trash weight that were collected from each one of them. We can also try the case when the decision maker needs a higher level of details. So we will do the same steps, but we choose all from the street menu and let's get the service time. Click the generate graph and yeah, that's it. Now let's get into the second chart, as it focuses more on the performance of the companies and the collector. So let's choose a specific company, let's say waste management, and for now we will keep this choice as none. And we will click on the trash weight and the total, and we determine the year on which we wanted to check the performance. Now as we see, the total amount of trash that were collected by a waste company in 2016. And if we want to check the average service time of a specific collector in a company, we will determine the ID of this collector and the time as well. It's clear that this graph shows a drop in this collector performance at specific point of time. Such a graph is very good for monitoring the overall performance. The next graph is a line graph, which we will use to get an average service time in a time range. So we will choose Giza, El Aguza. We want the average service time in the last 7 years. Then we click Generate and we get the requested graph. The last chart we have is a pie chart and it is used to show us the amount of each trash type that a specific company has collected. So we will choose this criteria and click Generate Graph. So here each color represents a trash type and its amount. Now let's get to the final tab in our web application, which is an outlier detector that helps us detecting the problems that occur within sensors in a specific time range. So let's assume we wanted to check the problems that occurred in a specific street within the following time range. We click Determine an Outlier and there we go. We get the IDs of all sensors that encountered a problem and the specific year that we estimate the problem has happened on it. That was our web application, and I will leave you now with my partner to introduce you to the second part of our project. Thank you.
Hello, I will be your guide throughout the mobile application, but before I start, you should notice that you need to have your mobile connected to the internet and your GPS turned on as well. Now let's start. This is our mobile application icon. We click it to open it and let's do its magic. The first step is to login. I will choose Ali Ahmed account, and for testing I'm entering an incorrect password. That's why an error message will show up. But let me fix this and log in again. Here it is now, I'm logged in successfully. The first thing we see in here is the navigation screen, and that red marker shows the current location of me right now. This green trash can means it's nearest to me and will be the first to be collected. And we can also see all the trash cans that are assigned to me, and the driving route, which is colored with blue, it represents the shortest path to reach the trash can. Now let's try a scenario. From the side menu, I will check my progress before I do anything. As we see, the completed tasks are 0 and I have 5 remaining trash cans to be collected. Now let's get the work done. I will go to the scan QR code screen to scan the QR code which is on the first trash can by clicking the scan button. Yep, my progress is automatically saved and reflected on my progress bar. If I try to scan an invalid code that does not belong to one of the trash cans assigned to me, the scanning will not be taken into consideration and the progress bar will not be affected. It's common to face some problems during the collection process, so we did not forget about that, and I can easily go to the report problem screen where will be a list of all assigned trash cans to me, and I can report my problems by typing them. For example, I would check this one and report that is not located in its place. And for this one, the trash can is unreachable because of the traffic. Now all my problems are reported successfully. After I'm done with my tasks, I can log out, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.